Hello everyone, you're watching VGM Presents Comics with Mark, and I am your host, Mark Rodriguez. So I went to the comic book store this Wednesday and picked up a particular comic book that I wanted to review, but then I found out about Halloween Comicfest that was hitting all the comic book stores all over the country basically. So yeah, I went there again on Saturday with my camera ready, expecting to take some pictures and everything, and it turned out to be just another day in a comic book shop. So yeah, there were free comic books there, and of course the comic books are all like Halloween themed. We got stuff like Archie fighting against zombies or facing zombies or whatever, and you know, the typical kiddie comic books that I guess are going to be Halloween themed. And in my particular store, it was a limit 3 per customer. I'll tell you about my choices in a bit. Also in my comic book store in particular, we had like, if you spend more than $10, you get a $5 gift certificate, so that's always cool. And then finally there was a costume contest, and I thought it was going to be at the actual store. That's why I was ready to take pictures and videos, stuff like that, because people always do wear these awesome, like, elaborate costumes when they really want to get down to it, you know? But no, the contest is actually kind of like an online thing. I guess you take a picture of yourself in costume at a comic store and post it online, and well, you know, it's kind of too late to give information about it now. I don't know what's, I assume it's something like comicfest.com, but the thing is, you know, it's the day after, so it's too late for you guys to enter the contest now anyway, but, you know. But that's the thing, though. So I was expecting more hoopla, more stuff, and, you know, like that free comic book day, they actually had a girl doing, like, zombie makeup on people, and, like, this would have been, like, the perfect chance to do it because, you know, Halloween, zombies, Walking Dead is big now, you know, it would have been, like, the perfect chance to do this, but you know. But I do hear people are saying that they're trying to see if later on eventually it will become something bigger and it will become like another free comic book day, because let's face it, this stuff is awesome. It would be awesome to have more than one free comic book day a year, you know. So anyways guys, for my choices, I picked the reprinted version of the Secret War, which is basically this well, it's a classic Marvel comic story with all the superheroes at the time, X-Men, Avengers, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, all the people gathering together in an epic fight against good versus evil. You know, it's a classic story. It's a reprint. It's free. Why not? I also picked up Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, like a Halloween issue. So let's check that out. But the one I really want to talk about today, which is also kind of cool because this is basically, I mean, I know that we do review anime, manga, stuff like that too, cartoons and everything, but this is basically, well, it started out as a gaming site with video game masters, with retro fighters and stuff like that. So, what better than Resident Evil? Yes, Resident Evil, the Marhawa Desire. Basically, just a sneak peek of it is a manga version. For those that only read stuff like Marvel and DC and don't really read manga, this is basically like, you know, Japanese comic books literally translated to English, and the way people read stuff in Japan, they basically read it from right to left instead of left to right. They read it from last page to first page. So if you guys have never read a manga before, that's how this is going to be. It's also going to be black and white, because most mangas are black and white. And yeah, the only thing I know about this series is that basically it takes place before the events of Resident Evil 6, and it goes more into detail as of how the outbreak started. So of course, when you start playing the game, that's why all these zombies and things are all over the place, or whatever monsters they fight, because the later series had all different kinds of things like the Plagas and Ouroboros and other things. But anyways guys, let's check it out. Resident Evil. I'm seeing here that Volume 1 officially hit stores November 2014. So is it worth waiting for in November 2014? Let's check it out. So right off the bat in the first page, you see a random kid here with this guy in a suit and a nun enter a church, this abandoned kind of bloodied up church, as they watch this schoolgirl zombie girl chained up and growling and snarling and trying to get away. Oh, Jesus! Before it folded, the Umbrella Organization secretly developed a weaponized bioagent that caused zombification. It's the T-virus, so it is a biological weapon. Watch out! If it bites you, you'll get infected. We need daylight. Daylight? A vaccine against the T-virus. We need to get it to everyone on the campus. And we need help from the BSAA immediately. This has to be resolved quickly before it spreads. This is definitely not something I can handle on my own. You really have learned a lot of things that I haven't in all these years. What's the BSAA? The Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance. As it happens, I have some influence with them. They'll send somebody out right away. That's right. This is the Marhawa Academy. We cannot have a biohazard. Plug, plug, plug. Original Japanese game for Resident Evil was Biohazard, and now you know. So the kid that we now find out his name is Ricky has been sent out to walk around and kind of observe the campus, check all the people, check all the animals, make sure that no one has been zombified or has been showing any kind of things or any kind of symptoms. The outbreak had to have started somewhere. The virus is mainly transmitted through bite wounds. In other words, that girl was bitten by something carrying the virus. This is bad. This is bad. He brought me here for this? Zombies. What is this? A comic book? Well... So Ricky sits down, basically overcome with everything that's been going on, and these lovely schoolgirls give him some bottled water to calm him down and stuff. And just when you think everything's kind of good, now these street punks show up and shove this guy up against the wall, and they're ready to start a pick fight with him. Just before a fight breaks out, because this guy wasn't taking crap either, he was kind of talking smart to him back, this other girl just shows up and breaks up the fight and reminds everyone that he's a special guest from Mother Gracia. Haha, I guess it looks like you saved me. Thanks, but why pick on me? I'm not even a student here. Most of the students have been here since elementary school and have never been outside. I think that's why everyone's attracted to you. I know I am, Alyssa. Hey, there you are. It's almost time for dinner. Say, that's a cute pendant. So Ricky heads back home, and the guy asks him if he sees anything suspicious, but no, nothing's really going on. We can't tell what started this. We have a flashback back to the nun and the church from the first page. I don't care if she's your ex-girlfriend or whatever. There's something wrong with her. Don't you think so? Her student turned into a monster, and there she was talking with a straight face about protecting the school's reputation. Yeah, the fact that somebody is infected already makes this a biohazard. The possibility of it spreading is high. We need the BSAA's help to contain it. We need their help. The BSSA. And we're introduced to the BSAA themselves as they're blowing up monsters, they're killing zombie dogs, lickers, and other things. We got Pierre Navans, BSAA North American Branch Alpha Team. And then we've got, we got Chris Redfield, the BSAA North American Branch Alpha Team Captain, blowing up zombie dogs like only he can. That was pretty easy. Guess you didn't really need us on this case, eh, Captain? Pierre, these biological weapons still create unpredictable situations even after all this time. We were just lucky we could contain it like we usually do. You're too modest, Chris Redfield. This was quite impressive. Full containment with 0 casualties. That's thanks to your leadership. And we're introduced to Mara BG, the BSAA Far East Branch. Meanwhile, Ricky wakes up in the hotel, finds out that his uncle's missing. I guess the uncle, his name is Doug Wright, which means that this guy in the suit is actually Professor Wright himself, the guy that Chris Redfield mentioned earlier, but suddenly, random super hot schoolgirl right in his face. He doesn't know who she is, but she does recognize that pendant though, and the pendant belongs to Alyssa. Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, isn't dating forbidden on campus? You could get in big trouble. Alyssa? And then suddenly, holy crap, Alyssa's a zombie. And yes, you do not want a zombie that close to you, on top of bed of you. I don't care how she looks like when she was still alive. You don't want that to happen. So yes, this concludes this little sneak peek preview to be continued in Resident Evil, The Marhawa Desire, Volume 1, available November 2014. And now for my thoughts on this Resident Evil sneak peek, and I gotta say, it's pretty good, it's pretty enticing, it gets you hooked the way that these sneak peeks should, and yeah, lots of mystery and stuff going on, like the usual Resident Evil games as they try to dig deep into how these outbreaks started, and we got this mysterious schoolgirl, but yeah, what bit her? How did she get infected? How did she become a zombie, you know? Hell, how did they capture and chain her up in the first place? That's gotta be kind of hard to do. But and then we got this nun girl. She's not like too freaked out about it. She kind of wants it just to be contained but not completely stopped. So what's going on with her? You know, what's weird about her? And then we got Alyssa, also a zombie now. Again, what bit her, what infected her, what's going on. And it did show the little pendant she has. It's kind of weird. It's like was the pendant just used as an example so that Ricky would recognize her later? Or does it have like a stronger significance later on in the story, you know? And then we got this other mysterious girl with a holocube thingy, like a camera, or what the fuck is that? But yeah, that's also like weird, kind of creeping around, like what's going on there. So yeah, it's a pretty good story. I like the angle now, because of course, most anime and stuff nowadays always takes place in school in one way or another. Most of the heroes nowadays, like Ichigo and Yusuke, whatever, are all school students and all that stuff. So yeah, now we got zombie outbreak in school, Resident Evil style. I don't believe this is ever done before, at least not in the Resident Evil series. And even though this is supposed to be like before Resident Evil 6, I really don't know if this school or not appears in the game or whatever. I mean, you guys have played it by now. You guys let me know. But one thing I do want to point out is I am glad that Chris Redfield is in the game. Well, I mean, in the comic, which is pretty cool because, I mean, like I said, it would have been interesting having this kind of like high school or college, whatever school, outbreak of all these zombies, and of course the mystery of how it started and whatever the hell this nun is up to, because maybe she's something to do with it. But it is cool to actually have one of the Resident Evil people have Chris Redfield in the comic book too, because hey, that's just. It just makes it much more badass and much more Resident Evil-y, you know? So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It looks like it's going to be like a graphic novel manga format coming out next month, and yeah, I'm going to pick it up. It's pretty cool. I like Resident Evil. Like, I'm not that big into the whole zombie thing. And, you know, Paige is kind of to Walking Dead and everything. But I do like Resident Evil because it does mix up zombies with other kinds of monsters. But also just plain blowing shit up. You got all these cool people like Joe Valentine and Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield. All these people that are awesome. So it's all like one big package. And I got to say, this is a very awesome way to do it, Capcom. I mean, this is actually licensed and everything by Capcom and everything, so that's pretty good. So yeah, if you guys were able to pick up this sneak peek, go for it. If you guys weren't able to pick it up, I mean, this video kind of counts as a sneak peek. So yeah, check it out, guys. So anyways, this is VGM Presents Comics with Mark, and see y'all next time.